explain four tenses. They are present continuous tense, present perfect tense, simple past tense and present perfect continuous tense. I'll show you how to avoid common mistakes people make with these tense forms and how to use these tense forms correctly. I'll tell you the situational use and show you the example sentences to really understand the concept well. So, if you are ready, let's begin. In episode 2, we talked about simple present tense. Now let's move on to present continuous tense. We make the present continuous tense with this form. Subject plus is, am or are plus ing verb. We say I am, he, she, it is, he is, she is, it is, you, we, they, you are, we are, they are. See the example, I am drinking coffee right now. This shows the first use of present continuous tense, that is, we talk about actions happening now, means at the time of speaking. It is not a general statement or I am not talking about my habit. It is happening at the time of speaking. See another example, we are having breakfast. It is raining outside. These sentences also express what is happening now. This is the first use of present continuous tense. The actions happening right now or at the time of speaking. The second use is to talk about temporary activities like, see the example, Amal is learning to play the guitar. It means Amal is taking guitar classes maybe twice a week. So she is in the process of learning to play the instrument. See another example, my brother is staying with us for a couple of weeks. These two examples show the temporary activity. The third use of present continuous tense is to describe changes taking place now. See the example, YouTube listens are becoming very popular these days. It means that YouTube listens are popular or it is increasing nowadays. So remember, present continuous tense is used to describe actions happening now, temporary actions, changes that are taking place. In these three situations, you must use present continuous tense. Now let's talk about present perfect tense. We make the present perfect tense with the subject plus has or have plus V3 verb. I, you, they, we must use have. I have, you have, they have, we have. He, she, it as subject, you have to use has. He has, she has, it has. See the example, I have taught English to many students. This sentence talk about my experience, that is the first use of present perfect tense. This is my experience in my teaching career. Of course, I am still a teacher, so my career is not finished and it is continuing. See the example, Alan has visited France 4 times. In his life means in his life he has visited France 4 times. The time period is his life, which is not finished, still on. So here the time period is continuing or ongoing. So this is the first use to discuss present perfect tense. We use present perfect tense to discuss experience in ongoing time period. The second use is to talk about recent actions or events. For example, I have finished my homework. You can imagine a kid is saying this to her mom. Well, when did she finish her homework? Maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes ago. But that's not important. The important thing is the completion of the homework. The girl finished her homework just now, but she is not saying the specific time because it's not necessary. So, no mention of the time. When? That is not important here in present perfect tense. So, there are two main uses of present perfect tense. One is to talk about experience and the other one is to talk about recent actions or events. Now let's move on to simple past. We always learn present perfect and simple past together because people always make mistake with these two tenses. Listen, we make past simple with subject plus V2 verb, that is the second form of verb. Most of the verbs we add ed form to make past verb, but certain verbs which is not possible. Example, see the example, come, came, come. Come is the V1 form, came V2, and come again, that is V3. Eat, ate, eaten. Go, went, gone. Give, gave, given. These types of verbs are called irregular verbs. There are no rules to make past forms with them. So memorize the correct forms. Now see the example. I played football with my friends last Sunday. Means that this is a finished action, that too in the past time. And also the time is mentioned here. The past time is mentioned and the action is already over. So in this situation, we must use simple past tense. Always you can see a past time in simple past. So I played football with my friends last Sunday. Last Sunday is the time. So whenever you see the past time, you must use simple past tense. Listen, before I said, there's a connection with these two tenses, that is present perfect and simple past. Now listen, present perfect means the time period is ongoing, okay? And we never mention the past time with this form, with this tense. So the time period is ongoing and the past time is not mentioned, you must use present perfect tense. See the example, I have taught English to many students. Means that still I am a teacher and the action is continuing, okay, ongoing time period. So I can say that I have taught English to many students and also the time is not mentioned. And see the another example here, I taught many students when I was a teacher. I taught here subject plus past verb. In this sentence, my career is over. It means I am not a teacher now. I was teaching for some time. During that time, I taught my students. Past time is given, so you must use simple past tense. So the time, past time is given, you must use simple past tense, and the time is not mentioned, which is not important, so use present perfect tense. Have a look with these sentences. Some of the sentences are wrong. Make corrections where necessary. Stop the video. Try to make the corrections. Then play the video again. Then check your answer. I have bought a car in 2005. We have seen a movie last week. They have gone to Mumbai last month. She has bought a house last year. He has finished the project in January. See, actually, I tricked you with these sentences. All of these sentences are wrong because they all talked about simple finished actions in the past. If you mention the past time for a finished action, then you must use simple past. Time is not mentioned, use present perfect tense. So here, in all the sentences, we mentioned the past time. See, in 2015, which is already over. Last week, finished. Last month, also finished. Okay. Last year, in January, these all past time is mentioned here. In all these sentences, past time is mentioned. So, the action is already over and past time is mentioned. So, we must use simple past form. I bought a car in 2005. We saw a movie last week. They went to Mumbai last month. She bought a house last year. He finished the project in January. These are the correct answers. So, when do you use present perfect tense? The action finished recently and you don't mention the time and focus on the action. Use present perfect tense. If you want to know the time, use simple past. Means that The time is important. You want to mention the past time, use simple past tense. And the time is not important, only the action is important. You must use present perfect tense. The next tense is present perfect continuous tense. We make this tense with the form subject plus has or have plus been plus ing verb. See the example. I have been waiting to see the principal for 2 hours. It means that you have been waiting. Imagine you are saying this. It means you came to the school maybe at 10 o'clock. Now it is 12 o'clock. You started waiting at 10. Now 2 hours passed. You are still waiting. So the present perfect continuous tense talks about the action that started in the past and are still continuing. In this sentence, we can also see, I have been waiting to see the principal since 10 a.m. The difference between for and since is, for talks about the amount of time, like 2 hours. Since talks about the starting point of action, that is 10 a.m., which shows the starting point. Here I want to tell you a common mistake, that is, if you say, I am waiting to see the principal for 2 hours, is wrong. When you mention the amount of time, like 2 hours, or starting time since 10 a.m., you must use present perfect continuous. Means that if you use for or since in your sentence, you must use present perfect continuous tense. So here only one use for present perfect continuous, that is an action started in the past and still the same action is continuing in the present, you must use present perfect continuous tense.
Hope there is no room for confusion with these tense forms and you have understood the concept really well. Thank you for being with me.